Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, mate. Yourself?
Yes, I am well.
Very good.
White Starlet.
Yes, so we're back for part two. Before we jump into this too far, I want to address something I actually missed in the part one, which is, so obviously this was kind of done because we were helping do a little bit of dev work on this, just to kind of iron out some bugs and kind of show some of what's involved with doing the installation. Because like I said in the first video, like the most popular platform to run ME ECUs on is kind of like Ford Z-Tech stuff, MX5, that's kind of that. So obviously I've been helping with kind of, iron some of the bugs out and make kind of a bit of a how-to, roughly. But one of the bits I missed, I'll put up a picture there. Ish. Yeah. When you do the distributor mod, there's two wires you've got to cut on the Dizzy plug. Basically, if you don't, you've got to cut them that end and ECU end. Effectively, if you don't cut them, the loop basically becomes like an aerial antenna.
Right.
And you've got to get a lot of like electrical noise or interference. So, but I will put up a picture and just to show where they are on the Dizzy.
Okay.
The other thing we've managed to do with this, so in part one we had conversations with Ashley about doing like a high-low boost situation. Obviously hadn't really prepped for such a thing, so we found out on the day. So basically since then I've been speaking to Motorsport Electronics just to work out options, because he's got a rocker switch like down there that has never been used for anything or doesn't actually do anything. But these actually have a high-low boost button from factory in them. So between us we've actually managed to be able to get that working. So now if you push the button, it's still, the light lights up on the dash, it all still works like factory, but it switches the boost tables. So we've already done all the wiring, done all the ECU related work to get that working. So that's what we're going to be doing regarding high-low boost. So that, again, in the EP91, obviously I've not worked on an 82, so I don't know if they have it, but in the 91 that will work. You'll be able to retain that functionality from factory,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. But basically the idea today, obviously we were put on a deadline for it going to the body shop, I think. So we basically got low boost set up on gate pressure, got that safe and right so it could go. Now we're back to do high boost and hopefully see some good numbers.
Perfecto. So that's the plan basically, is to sort
Pretty
of pick
much,
up
yeah.
where
I mean,
we
we're
left off,
already on the dyno, we're already strapped, ready to go. I've already set ratios, so it is basically going to be, I've chucked some duty in already. Obviously with where I got to on the VE table and ignition time, and I've kind of made some guesses already just to see where we are.
Yeah.
Or educated guesses based on where we were. So yeah, we're going to start getting into that rather than boring you with a million rips, and then we'll see where we end up.
Perfect. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Guten Tag. Right. Do you want to just do like a cliff notes of the situation?
I can do, yeah. So basically we've been on the dyno for all the morning into about nearly half 3. So been on the dyno kind of most of the day. Ran into some problems not like a little while ago. So basically we're running out of fuel, which is not ideal. There are some things that kind of make sense now, which I'm kind of going to go backwards and forwards a little bit. But basically Ashley said the high boost map never worked in this. And it's very common on a stock engine with TD04. You see like 230 brake. It's a very common number that's thrown around with these. Low boost, I can't remember what he said it was. I think around 170, but it drove like it was not great.
Yeah.
It was like super rich, super lean, AFR swinging around wildly, very jerky, just drove terribly. Effectively when we got into tune this, I mean, low boost we'd done like 173 I think, but it drives super crisp. It's absolutely lovely to drive. Started getting into the high boost map and only getting to like 30% duty. We were seeing, the AFRs weren't excessively rich. We were seeing like 12, 11, 8, that kind of area. Sometimes going a bit richer, obviously, while we're still dialing it in. But we were hitting a max duty count on the injectors multiple times. but you know, by like 5,000 RPM, which obviously the injectors in this should do the power we're looking for, so should the pump. Equally, it's a 1996. So
it's not a fresh daisy anymore, is it?
No, so I've basically spent some time bringing the duty down so we can still make a bit more power without triggering a max injector counter, because at one point I think we hit 11. I mean, it was 3 by the time I pulled out of the run, which was like they were very close together, and it hit a load more after, which didn't really make sense. But so yeah, we've basically finished up running about 20% duty. I mean, we'd had passes like knocking on the door of 200 horsepower. With it like this, it's like 195 before atmospheric correction, so basically 190, 1.8, 192 after. So obviously we've recommended bigger injectors, in-tank pump.
Yeah, just to freshen them up a bit. And
yeah, and then obviously we'll be able to finish it. But I mean, I did take the plugs out and check the gaps, but I actually fitted these plugs myself and I did gap them. So, but I thought I'd double check just in case I missed it. But yeah, I mean, as far as we're aware at the minute, he doesn't really want to go any further with it this second.
Wants some time to actually enjoy it, because he spent money on it and he hasn't actually got to drive it where it's drivable yet. So.
Well, to be fair, I think we've actually, without making us sound terrible, I've actually had the car longer than he's owned it, because I think he got the car quite quickly, wanted standalone, left it with us to kind of work everything out and get it done for him, and then he's had it back for less than a week, I think. Then it's gone body shop, and now it's back to high boost done. So yeah, I mean, we had much of the same conversation, that he just wanted to spend some time driving it and enjoying it, which is fair enough. There's no issues. Obviously we've made the tune safe, so he can have a bit more power, with obviously without triggering the max duty counter. So yeah, it's a bit of a sad note to end it on, but at least it's in one piece still, so that's a bonus.
He said that potentially, you know, give it a few weeks, and then it may be back to finish off with some. Yeah, I mean, so there may be a part 3, so we will see. Dun, dun, dun. But obviously, like I said in the first video, obviously if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments or give us an email. I'll chuck the email in the description with our socials and stuff. But yeah, so besides that, I mean, I've said it, the first one's been a real pleasure at work on this car. Like it's not been kind of butchered or thrown together. It's actually really well done. And besides, I mean, the first set of problems I think were like the unforeseen problems. These ones I didn't really see coming, but it does happen when you have a car that's old. Yeah. So, well, here's what it is. So we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe back and finished off that way. Yeah, I say there will be another video coming as well, which I'm going to try and film over the next couple of days. So Motorsport Electronics have released a new version of Mighty, which is their tuning software. I actually spoke to Matt this morning, who's the owner of ME, and he hasn't done a video on this yet, so he said to me, just get one done, get it up. So, but it just shows all the new onboard. They already had onboard logging, but it shows the new ways to view it in the software, which is vastly improved over what it was before. Quality of life situation. Yeah, so I'll be getting that video done shortly and getting that published as well. Perfect. Okay, well, I guess on to the next one. No worries. Catch you soon.